I've been a conservation technician for about 2 years now, and I started volunteering at the zoo about 3 to 4 years ago. Ever since I was little, I've always loved animals. I knew I wanted to do something working with animals. Some of my earliest memories related to animals were probably helping take care of the pets and playing with all my Beanie Babies as a little kid. Instead of Barbie dolls, I played with Beanie Babies, so anything animal related I loved. In college, I majored in environmental studies, and so I learned a lot about biology and conservation biology, and then I kind of clued in that that was really the specific field that I was interested in. In addition, I majored in art, in studio art, so kind of an interesting combination, but then when I had the chance to intern with this department and I learned not only about all the animals and the conservation biology projects that they're working on, but also Project Selva, which is an art-based conservation initiative where we're helping indigenous groups in the Peruvian Amazon. I've helped make some of the logos for our department, which has been really exciting, and I've also worked on illustrations for some of the papers that we're working on. So it's really been awesome being able to combine both of my loves of animals and art and do that as my job every day. So there's not really such a thing as a normal day here. I'm sure anyone that works with animals can relate, but the majority of our job is animal care. Like feeding the lizards, misting the lizards, feeding all the little baby salamanders that we have. Some of those things remain consistent every day. In addition, it's a lot of cleaning tanks and sifting sand and lots of feeding and cleaning. Occasionally, one of my favorite things about this job is we also get to participate in field work. So I wouldn't say that's a normal day, but occasionally that's a really fun bonus that we get to do where we go out and actually get to see some of these animals in the wild and do surveys where we go out and try to get estimates on some of the wild populations. The horned lizards are so lovable. So definitely the horned lizards. I also really like the Mexican blind cats. They're such a unique individual, and both of those are species I've got to work with in the wild or see them in the wild and do field work with. So I have a special connection to those guys as well. So some of my favorite memories are definitely the field work that I mentioned earlier, getting the chance to see some of these rare creatures in their natural habitat, whether we're out looking for horned lizards or whether we're doing cave surveys and getting to see Mexican blind cats or wild blind salamanders. Those have just been unforgettable, really exciting opportunities that I feel really fortunate to have had the chance to experience. In addition, this year has been especially exciting for us with all the breeding news with the salamanders. So some of my favorite memories, of course, are also the days where I found out that we were successful with breeding these species that have never before been bred in captivity. So that's been incredibly rewarding as well. Donations are incredibly important for our department. We rely on those to be able to take care of all the animals and to be able to continue with all the conservation work that we're working on. Especially after the past few months where the zoo has had to close its doors, we're especially dependent on donations at this time.